I'm swinging from a 7-story window, throwing parties in a 10-by-7 cell. It's astounding the lengths I'll go to convince the whole damn world I don't need anybody's help. Yeah, I am waving while I drown. Don't bother swimming out to save me, I will only drag you down. I'll try to use your body as a life raft, cause if there's room enough for one, there must be room enough for two. I'll sail the good ship you into the sunset, sipping on savory water till my liver turns blue. Sha-na-na, sha-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Is broadcast in the evening news. I will be relieved. La, la, I am waving while I drown. Don't bother swimming out to save me, I will only drag you down. I'm waving while I drown. Don't bother swimming out to save me, I will only drag you down. La, 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 la. Singing, hey, hey, alright, yeah, I wrote that one myself. It's astounding the lengths I'll go to convince the whole damn world I don't need anybody's help. Fuck.
Yes, everybody, it is me, Matt Wright. I am here live with you on a Thursday evening for another fantastic episode of the Writer's Block. I appreciate that you guys decide to spend your Thursday evenings here with me, because there are a lot of things that you could be doing on a Thursday and you choose to spend them watching me. So thank you to each and every one of you out there. Also, thank you to the Narcissist Cookbook for allowing me to use his music at the beginning and end of every episode of the Writer's Block. And allow me to thank, I don't even remember who gave this to me, Benjamin Daniel Morris Chestnut the 14th for the kava I am drinking on today's episode. To everybody that I just mentioned and all of you watching, Bulavanaka. So sorry we didn't have an episode of the Muddied Waters of Freedom or My Fellow Americans this week. Scheduling issues, but not to worry. We've got a whole slate of great content coming out to you in the coming days. But so be on the lookout for that. But tonight we have a milestone guest coming on. This will be the first time somebody has been on the Writer's Block 3 times. She is the very first 3-time guest of the Writer's Block. And for anybody who's been watching this show since the beginning, knows that she needs absolutely no introduction. For everybody else, please welcome with me the wonderful, the fabulous Mrs. Erin Edwards. I almost said Miss, and I was like, no, that's not right anymore. Mrs. Erin Edwards.
I am officially a Mrs. Yeah.
Yes, you are officially a Mrs.
Yes, sir. Got it on the diamond there. So thank you so much for having me on. I feel so honored to be a veteran of the Writer's Block. That is just so cool, and I'm so happy to be a part of it. I apologize for this awesome angle.
Right. It's, you know, you're currently, just so everybody knows, you are at Flote Festing in Gause, Texas. So you're using your phone, you know, you're out trying to run this entire event that we're going to get into in a little bit. But so for technical issues, I am certain that everybody watching is going to be, no, we get it. She is a busy person.
No, I appreciate the leniency there. If people try to come into my podcast studio, we actually have a live podcast studio, which we created just for this event. And honest to God, all this mic equipment is just decoration for me at the moment. But yeah, no, it's very exciting. I am thrilled to be here at Flote Fest 2022. Hey, I have a live audience guest here. And yeah, it's the second year. And the first year we threw it together in 60 days. And we had about 300 people attend, which was awesome. And they came from all over the US, which was incredible. And I even had people come from Mexico as well. This year is an entirely new ball game. I have just under 800 people coming.
Wow.
And I'm just like the Eventbrite notifications on my email have just been flooding in. I literally got like 70 signups just today since 10 a.m. So signups are open if you guys want to go or come to Flote Fest. If you are in the Texas area, you can go to flotefest.com and sign up. It's free to walk in and do day passes. And then if you want to camp, it's just $100 per vehicle.
That is awesome. Now, here's a fun little fact for anybody who hasn't been watching the show as long as Erin has been on it. The first week that Erin was supposed to be on the show she was going to come on the day before a Las Vegas Bitcoin Meetup. And she was so busy, she had to cancel on me. And you can see that she really likes putting me in right before she has really big events.
Okay, to be fair, I thought I was coming on last week, and and Brian was like, "No, actually, it's next week." And I'm like, "Oh shit, I will literally be at Flote Fest." That the first show that we ever did together, that was right before Anarcho Vegas, which is my first conference I was ever throwing, and I was way more stressed out back then. I'm not stressed at all now, so I've learned.
Yeah, I remember you calling me that day and saying, "Hey, can we cancel? I have to go pick up like 9 people from the airport." And I was like, "Yeah, I was actually shocked you wanted to do it today, but okay."
I see. Here's my problem, and it's a problem I had in when did we do that? 2019.
Sure. Yeah, 2019.
Yeah, I have the same problem where I can't say no to the people that I like.
So what is it that got you into being the Anarcho Vegas, the Bitcoin meetup leader, the Flote Fest organizer? How did you start there? What were you doing that brought you into that world?
So I was actually throwing Bitcoin meetups at the time, and and we were just getting a little, like we did one every month at that point, and I was doing them from the first Bitcoin meetup I ever threw was 2014, and then 2015 was the year I started doing them regularly every month. So 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. And I just got a little bored. And I was just like, you know what? I think I need a little bit more of a challenge. So fuck it. Why not? I can curse on this. Right?
Yeah, it
do
really
it and ask forgiveness later. Yeah, no. So I was just kind of like, all right, well, screw it. I'm just going to kind of dive head first and see if anyone wants to come to this conference, because Freedom Fest actually was happening. And I was like, well, the only people who go to Freedom Fest are really just like really old people who are kind of Republican and, like let's actually throw a Freedom Conference in Vegas. And so, sorry, Mark Skelson, don't shoot me. Don't come for me. But yeah, honestly, I appreciate the Freedom Fest guys. I really appreciate what they do. I've never been to their conference, but it's huge every year, and they are just only getting better and better. But I wanted to throw an anarchy conference. I wanted to throw something really centered around the idea of freedom.
Nice.
And so that's what I did, and it was great. It was awesome. We had like 500 people show. We had sponsors. We had great speakers. And then I wanted to do it again in 2020. And then the world shut down, and I was like, well.
And then everything closed, right? And then
that sucked.
Everybody lost their collective minds in government, and most of them never had it to begin with, but they still haven't found it.
And all the banquet staff in Las Vegas were fired. So I was like, well, I couldn't even throw this thing if I wanted to because there's no staff. So, yeah, that was really a challenge. I literally remember being at Pork Fest in New Hampshire, and I was waiting, like it was down to the wire. It was like 2 weeks out, and I was like, I am not fucking canceling this conference. I don't care. I will not cancel this conference no matter what. And then the hotel was like, well, this isn't going to work, and here's why. Right. I was like, well, fuck, I guess we're canceling this conference, and I hate that. That was a hard pill for me to swallow. I don't like people telling me I can't do something.
Gee, an anarchist doesn't like being told what she can't do. That's so weird. So let's talk about Flote a little bit and kind of the history of it. For anybody out there who doesn't know, which I'm certain that most of the people who are watching or listening are on Flote, what is Flote for anybody out there who hasn't heard about this yet? Like, what is it, and how did it become? Where did it go from what it is to having these events?
So Flote started out. So we actually were in the middle of creating a cryptocurrency wallet that was easy to use, right? Like most cryptocurrency wallets are like made by engineers for engineers, and they're not very user friendly. And so we were just like, okay, let's try this, and we have ideas. So let's put pedal to the metal. Let's do it. And then we got accepted into a startup accelerator in 2019. And then we kind of flipped once we saw like everything, like once Alex Jones was thrown off of the internet, we were just like, okay, something needs to happen. Something needs to be done. And why not throw our hats in the ring to do it? Like first, what we did was obviously did our research, and we went to Minds, we went to Gab, we went to all these social media platforms, right, and we tried them out. And we're like, well, this is missing that, this is missing this, it's not the platform that I would want to use. And so ultimately what we decided to do was launch Flote, which was a social media startup. And now it's kind of evolved into so much more. We launched July 2020 with a MVP, and we actually just rebuilt our entire infrastructure from scratch to scale. And now, it's really evolved into this more than a social media platform. I mean, we have the best community, and it's, all these platforms like Gab and Minds, and, you can go on it, you feel a little lost. No one's there to greet you, right? No one's there to show you around. No one's there to kind of welcome you into an established group. And so you're kind of just like one of those lost voices. On Flote, you come on, myself or Kingsley will always take time out of our day to go on Flote and welcome new users and repost them and introduce them to the community. And our community is just so welcoming. And I mean, there is content that you can look up as, there's anarchy content, there's libertarian content, there's Republican content, there's dog content. Dogs of Flote was hashtagged and trending for a long time. Like there's homesteading. Toolman Tim has a channel that he live streams and tells us about all the projects. I mean, it's a small knit community. We have about 70,000 users. And, like we've really taken the time and put in the money to build out this infrastructure. We're not big tech. Things are not being built overnight. They do take time. But ultimately, our next big project is groups, a marketplace, and everything that we want. I know that you're basically just like staring me in the eye. You're like, I want embedding, live stream embedding. Well, I will get that to you as soon as I can too. But
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bring it up this weekend because I know you have a lot going on, but I have been having trouble live streaming the Flote recently, so I was going to need to talk to you about that. But yeah, I'm not going to do that this weekend because I know you got a lot going on. So currently,
but the ability to talk to the owner about a problem you're having on a social media site, I think, is unprecedented, and I think that's kind of what separates us away from the rest of them.
Oh, absolutely. It is one of the greatest things about it is I know that if I'm ever having an issue, I can shoot you a message and be like, hey, I can't figure this out, and you will walk me through it. And it's a fantastic user experience. So currently you are the Chief Community Officer of Flote, correct?
Yeah, AKA I'm Flote's mama.
Okay. I was gonna say, can you explain what that is for me? Because I have no idea.
Yeah. For sure.
So, in all fairness, before you go into this explanation, I just finished watching the show We Crashed about the WeWork people, and I kept thinking that you were like Adam Newman's wife. Yeah, his wife, whose name I'm blanking on right now, who was there because she was the soul of the company, and I was like, that's not. I have to find out what this is.
I mean, I will say that I don't know, I wouldn't brand myself as the soul of the company. But I am a huge part of it, because I think that the rest of our team is very focused on delivering a great user experience and, infrastructure and, bringing in money and focusing on marketing. And I think that's all great and that's really important. But where I come in is I bring that human element back into Flote. And so I do, the reaching out and customer support and really making sure that people feel like they are talking to a human. And so I'm not 1,200 bots on the internet being like, that's not a fun experience for anybody. And honestly, like Flote's community is my goal. And so, and these in-person events that I like to throw yearly, it started off as a way to, just to connect with our users. But now I think it's really grown into connecting user to user and building community, not just online, but in person, yes. Because I really feel like community is very understated. And it's the most powerful force, I think, that we have in our toolbox. I think having a community who you have on speed dial, if anything goes down, you can call your community and say, look, this is the problem I'm having and I need help. I fully expect if I did that, I would have 50, 60 people backing me up when I need it. Easy. And I think that's important for every community to have. And so that's my goal at this conference. I want to connect user to user, like it's free to walk in and peruse because it's free to vend. And I want people circulating money in this community. I'm not looking to get rich off of this. I want to put money in people's pockets. I want connections to be made, genuine connections, real relationships. And so, those are my goals as Chief Community Officer.
Very cool. And so we actually, one of the comments we got is from a regular listener, watcher, viewer. I don't know what to call these people. She's a wonderful human who pays attention to me when I speak. Charlotte Ray Allen.
Hi, Sarah.
I know what to call her. She's also watching. But Charlotte Ray Allen, she says that she's clueless on this. Is there an app or is it a site? So before we answer that, do you want to give the history of what happened with that?
Sure. So TLDR, the long story short, is Google threw us off their app store for not censoring our users because they sent us an email and basically said, hey, they just sent a screenshot. Like they just said, this account has violated community standards. They didn't tell us what community standards they violated, how so, nothing specific at all. Just, hey, you need to do something about this account or you're going to be thrown off the app store. And so it took all of our team like about 10 seconds to talk about it and to come to a resolution. And we're just like, we're not playing this game. Like, I am not going to let Google play whack-a-mole, and send me accounts to censor so I can stay on their stupid little app store. I'm not doing that. And so, it was a very popular choice in our community. I think we received a whole lot of positive feedback. And so ultimately we are web-based only. So you can access our website at joinflote.com.
Yeah, and that was the other, I wasn't sure what the new web address was.
Yeah, I mean, flote.app will also send you over there.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
That domain.
I wasn't sure, and I didn't want to just throw it out there, and you'd be like, "No, that's not a thing anymore."
Yeah, it's still a thing. It'll get you where you need to go. But joinflote.com is the public URL that we are promoting.
Gotcha. Okay, joinflote.com. Cool. So obviously a lot of things have been in the news about free speech and social media over the last week, um, with Elon purchasing Twitter or agreeing to purchase Twitter. Um, do you think that this is going to have a huge change in free speech for the internet as a whole?
I would like to say yes, but I think I'm a little too realistic for that. I
That's
think
fair.
that a lot of people are idealizing this Elon buy. I think there could be, I mean, listen, if it's true and if his intentions were pure and he really does care about free speech, which I think he might, I think it could be a possibility that he might, but also you have to understand how many accounts and how much user data is on Twitter right now. And so being in charge of all of that data is a very powerful thing.
Right.
I personally, I mean, I think Elon Musk is funny, but I don't trust him.
That's and that's fair. And I wouldn't go so far to say that I trust Elon, but yes, I do find him hilarious, and
Yeah,
I
of
enjoy
course
his
he's
tweets.
very entertaining. I mean,
Yes.
when he was dangling Dogecoin on a stick, like that was hilarious. My entire family, I mean, people I have been talking to about crypto since 2014 and trying to tell these people like this is a thing and you better get on board. They literally all called me at the same time telling me to set up a I'm sorry, a dog coin wallet. That's what they called it. And
Did they really?
to have that power by simply tweeting, I thought that was hilarious, but ultimately I don't know. I think that this whole free speech thing might blow over. Free speech Twitter thing might blow over in like a month. I think that they're going to lose a lot of market share. Um, I don't know.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
I mean, it's very interesting. It's fun to watch. But if
It
people genuinely care about free speech, then they'll seek sites like Flote, like Minds, like Gab.
absolutely. Now, one of the
The real
questions,
people who care about free speech are already on those platforms.
absolutely. That is a great talking point. That is a well, that is a good job. I like that. But yeah, no, but it's true. Like when they said that Elon's going to buy Twitter and that he's not going to kick anybody off for saying things, he's it's going to promote free speech, all that kind of stuff. I thought, does he have a float? Because that's already a thing. Like that's a thing that's already exists. Um, but
Yeah.
when he did purchase it, the first thought I had, the very first one, and Muddied Waters Media tweeted it because it was the account that was open at the time, was, since Elon is saying that there's not going to be any censorship of free speech, is he going to get the same treatment that that Flote got from Google Play Store and the App Store from Apple? And
I I think that is a very interesting question. I think it would be hilarious,
so,
if they did that.
from what I understand, they've already sent a letter saying he's going to have to do content moderation.
Well, I mean, one can only hope. I mean, really, one can only hope if Twitter gets taken down from the App Store. I think that would just be fucking chaos. Like, I really think it would be absolute chaos. And I hope it does. Truthfully, I really hope it does because, first of all, there's so much toxicity on that platform. And I don't know. I think it might even the playing field a little bit.
And I could see that. I would think that I would personally hope that it doesn't, just because then you could say, hey, if you're not taking them off, you have to let us back on. But
I don't know if I want to be. I mean, I know it's probably best for the company if we were to be let on back on the. It's having Google's intentions and contradictions shown in a light like that, and I have to commend Elon Musk for basically putting them on the spot because
right,
he's kind of backing them in a corner a little bit, So
absolutely.
it's interesting to see, and honestly, if Google did say that we could come back, I'm not sure that we would, because look what they did to Gab. Look what they did to Parler. Look what they, like,
Oh yeah,
they have a
absolutely.
history of not letting free speech apps on these platforms. And so if we can be successful without them, then like I have no intentions on crawling back to Google, you know?
Take the Johnny Depp route where it's like I wouldn't go back to Pirates of the Caribbean now anyway because fuck Disney. Sarah,
Yeah.
superfan Sarah Andrag says moderate for proper grammar and typos, and I'm I am not I'm not opposed to that kind of moderation.
For typos
And proper grammar. Just
but that's what makes Flote so great is because we have an edit post feature now. So if someone fucks up their typing, I can just say, hey, you fucked up. And then they're like, oh, cool. I can edit my post on like Twitter and just fix it in 2 seconds. And then you're good to go.
That's fair. That's fair. It's self-moderation on grammar issues and typos. So as Flote's been growing, like obviously as Flote's been growing, you guys have dealt with a ton of headaches because I had from the Apple App Store, I had the tester app or whatever it was, the beta app.
Yeah, Test Flight.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Test Flight. That was what it was. Test Flight app. I had the Test Flight app, and then one day you were like, "Yeah, that's just not coming back." The main thing that I want to see from my Flote, which is still it's on my home screen. Just I'm gonna show everybody.
Nice.
Maybe I'm gonna show everybody. It's right there. Can we get notifications to that?
Yeah, it's a goal. Okay. That is something that I'm really going to push. Sorry, I don't mean to show you my cleavage. I just have bad balance. Yeah, it's definitely a goal of mine. And I have my CTO here this weekend, and we're going to be basically doing like a Flote roundtable here with our CTO, our CXO, our CEO, our CCO, which is me, and our COO. And also our blockchain business. I can't even think. I'm brain dead. Right. But anyway, our crypto guy.
Right. You've been very busy recently.
But anyway, so basically we're going to be doing a public roundtable here where everyone here can kind of give us our ideas and the things that they want to see on Flote. And then we can basically add those to our roadmap and prioritize efficiently to get people what they want. Because honestly, we are not here building a platform and having people join, and that's the way it is. Like what we are doing is we are building a platform. We are building the platform that people want to use. So we listen to our user base. Do you want this? Do you want that? What don't you like? Tell us what you don't like. Why don't you like it? Okay, that's valid. Like I love getting user feedback, and my team loves getting user feedback, because without that, like it wouldn't be as fun. Like all these platforms are so rigid, right? And they're just like, this is our platform, this is the way it is. This is a new feature that's coming out. Hope you like it,
Right. And everything as I have been watching, because I've been around with Flote, God, I don't even know when we joined Flote, but it's been a while that we have been on it.
2019. You guys are one of the first accounts on there, which we really appreciate.
Oh, well, that was when we learned that we could live stream whatever we wanted to you guys and not get dinged by YouTube or CNN or anybody else, and that became a great place for us to do that. And it was we would do all of our debates on Flote, and we would do all of the we would do like the Democratic debates on Flote, because the Democrats will sue you if you re-show their stuff.
Yeah, so true. But honestly, you guys were OGs of the site, and we are going to send you guys a gift for that in the form of Flote tokens. So I appreciate everything you guys have done, had us on, multiple times. I mean, 3 times on the writer's block alone. We really appreciate your guys' support. Spike Cohen is such a great guy. He wrote a letter on behalf of Kingsley's dad when he was running for vice president under Joe's campaign, and that held a lot of weight. And so the support that you guys throw behind us is amazing, and we're just really, really grateful for it.
For anybody who doesn't know, we've talked about Kingsley's dad on the Muddied Waters of Freedom a lot. His name is Michael Edwards. He's here in Florida, and he has been in prison since 1993, I believe.
Yes.
1993, and it's been a while since I've talked about it. It was for like 2 grams of cocaine that he had, but it was his 3rd strike, so he was, and his ex-girlfriend kind of set him up, and we have been working diligently to get him out, and we've all been helping. And he had the
A clemency hearing.
Thank you, a clemency hearing. I was like, parole board. No, that's not it. Clemency hearing that he was supposed to have during COVID, but then they canceled it because of COVID. And then I think he got through, but then Governor DeSantis nixed it.
Yep. Yeah. So his clemency board meeting was set for March 2020. And they moved it twice because I don't fucking understand why you can't do a video conference and how, whatever. It is absolutely just the dumbest thing I've ever seen. But so anyway, they moved it twice, and the 3rd time they moved it was Kingsley's birthday, September 23rd, 2020. And Kingsley stayed up all night, and he was so excited because we had a shot. We really had a shot. The clemency board offender review basically gave Michael a recommendation that he be released. And in typical fashion, the governor and the clemency board always listen to the offender review board there. And, that recommendation really carries weight. So we thought we had it in the bag, I mean, he had 60 years sentence. He served the last 30 years. And so we were like, there's no way they keep him in prison. And although that file had been sitting on Ron DeSantis's desk for 6 months, he basically said, I need more time to give an answer. And we're like, more time? You've had this file sitting on your desk. Like, are you kidding me?
Right.
For 6 months.
And he's been in there for 30 years.
And he's been in for 30 years. I was 27 years at that point.
Right.
So it was insane. And speak of the devil, folks, who do we have here?
Hey, what's up, Kingsley? How you doing? Everybody, Kingsley Edwards.
I was talking about your dad.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, it took Ron DeSantis 7 to 9 months after he said I need 2.5 weeks to make a decision. He came back and said no.
That is
Phoenix
that is absolutely, that is the biggest travesty, and one of the reasons that I will not be voting for Ron DeSantis in November.
Yeah, I mean, he's done a lot of good things. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a strong governor. But the mere fact that he will not let a man who has been sitting in prison, rotting in prison for 30 years because of a nonviolent drug offense, with 30 more years to go on his sentence.
Right.
And that's inexcusable.
Basically, wasn't it because he got caught with a cell phone in like 2009 or something?
He got caught with a cell phone that wasn't even working. He was using it as a calculator.
I didn't know that part. I just knew that it was in 2009 or something like that. So
I mean, they just, and honestly, like when you call them for an update, I remember like we would call and just say like, do you have an answer yet? Does the governor have an answer yet? His secretary would answer and just like treat you like an absolute hostile. I mean, like these people are soulless. They genuinely do not have souls.
That's absolutely true, especially when it comes to the lives of somebody like Michael, who I've been waiting for the day that I can talk to him in person. But when it comes to somebody, he's been in there for 30 years. He was set up by his ex-girlfriend, who was just trying to beat a charge and set him up instead, was like, yes, fuck him. And quite literally ended up ruining the rest of his life. And it doesn't give him the chance for redemption. And that is one of the biggest things that we believe in, is the chance for redemption. And so having it where the governor finally could give him the redemption and say, okay, yes, he has changed. because of a stupid infraction at the time, 11 years prior. He was like, I don't know. He hasn't been a perfect prisoner. Well, nobody's perfect for 30 years. Nobody, not even you, Ron. I'm certain. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm certain. I am certain you haven't been perfect for 30 years. So let the man out. Just let him go.
Yeah.
But yeah, people in the comments are saying very upsetting, and it is. But since we aren't here to talk about that, let's because
before we end that chapter on that topic, I wanted to offer hi Toshi, if you set up a JPay account, basically I can get you guys to do an interview, you and Michael, if that's something that you'd be interested in.
I would love to talk to Michael.
Okay, let's get you on his visitors list, and then that way you guys can conversate in an app called JPay.
Okay,
we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it after. And I'll contact you next week after you're done with all the busyness.
After all this is over.
After all of this, yes. Yeah. But no, I'm very excited. I'm very excited to do that. That'd be amazing. So let's go back to Flote Fest. We have 800 people that are going to be descending upon Gause, Texas over the next, 3 days, 2 days?
Yeah. Tomorrow's the first day.
Okay. Yeah. So tomorrow's the first day. We've got 800 people coming to Gause, Texas. What sort of things are going to be happening at Flote Fest? I know that you said that you got your round table with everybody there, but what other things? I know that Spike's there and he's going to do his little Spike show, but I'm certain there are other huge names that you have coming.
Yeah, so we have Spike Cohen, of course, is coming. We have Dr. Andrew Kaufman, who is coming and speaking. Okay. We did have Max Egan on the list, but he's run into some visa issues. So unfortunately, he won't be making it. But man, there are so many speakers, like too many speakers to list. We have Derek Rose coming, John Bush of Freedom Cells, Texas Freedom Cells, and so they're going to be basically coming and doing a workshop. We have Sam Tripoli and Eddie Bravo coming and doing a comedy night on Saturday. And so there are a couple of local comics coming as well to open for them. Man, I literally, I have 35 speakers coming. That's a lot. And so ultimately,
would they all be listed on, I was gonna say, are they all on the website?
Yeah, you can go to www.flotefest.com and they're there, listed there under schedule. And we have our CXO who just walked in. Hi, Chuck. How are you?
How you doing, Chuck? How you doing? So how do you? We've kind of covered this a little bit, but compared to the inaugural Flote Fest, to the first one, obviously we're looking at bigger. We're looking at a lot more guests that are going to be there, a lot more events happening. But you seem much more calm than you did last year when I talked to you right before Flote Fest.
Well, I took a beta blocker. No, I'm just kidding. No, I don't know. Honestly, I feel very confident this year. I've called my COO twice in the last 48 hours, and I'm like, do we need more bathrooms? And he's like, no. I'm like, oh. Okay. if he's not stressed, I'm not stressed. And that's kind of I've really tried to get a better handle on my stress levels in the last year or two. And so I've realized if the people around me are not panicking, then I won't panic either. Everything is fixable. Everything is figure outable. We are not too far off the grid. We are an hour outside of Austin. And yeah, I mean, it's awesome. If you don't mind, I would love to just kind of give you a little bit of a tour.
Absolutely.
So you guys will be seeing it.
I wanted to come, but the kids are still in school, so it's we couldn't take the time off and then work, and we're saving up for a wedding. So just so
I totally get it. I understand. I'm so excited for you, by the way. I was so happy when that happened. I was like, woohoo! They're getting married.
So was I. I was very happy when that happened. I knew the answer to the question, but I was terrified that she was going to be like, no, you're a man child.
That's scary.
You are frozen right now if you can hear me. But everybody, yeah, I was terrified when that happened. Okay, you're back.
I'm back. I'm sorry. So yeah, so this is the property. So, and this is kind of like our stage area. And then if you move out here, this is where this field will be covered with RVs, tiny homes, renovated schoolies. So it's going to be really exciting. Everyone's starting to kind of pile in early tonight. And yeah, it's going to be awesome.
No, I'm excited. If people happen to be in the Gauze region of Texas, would they still be able to sign up if they went to floatfest.com and just show up?
Yes. So if you go, so the address is not public because it is a private property. However, if you go to floatfest.com and sign up and register for a ticket, the address should show up on the confirmation email. So come on out. I mean, it's gorgeous. You have your beautiful Texas sunsets.
That it beats a Florida sunset.
Oh, I don't know. I think I'm half and half on that. I love Florida sunsets.
Even though I hate the Pacific Coast, I like their sunsets so much more than I like Florida's. I don't know. I think it's the smog. I think it's all the pollution. I think it makes for a beautiful sunset.
Yeah.
So people in the comments are saying that their goal is to be there next year. So hopefully a lot of people come next year. Hopefully Sarah and I can make it next year as well, because that would be an amazing time to hang out with you and King and just get a chance to experience Flote Fest for everything it is, instead of I see all the pictures online and I'm always like, man, that looks like it's so much fun.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
So before I let you go, is there anything that you want to
next year? It's going to be so much bigger.
Nope, go ahead.
Lindsay, can you help?
No. I hope to see you. Excited.
So before I let you go, is there anything you want to push? I know that you are.
Oh my God, yeah, so just floatfest.com. I'm sorry, there's a little bit of a delay, but yeah, floatfest.com. And if you want to check out joinfloat.com as well, we'd greatly appreciate it. But thank you for having me on. I'm sorry, people are yelling my name from afar, so
I get it. You
gotta go.
You are a busy woman, and I understand that. I appreciate you taking the time today to talk to me. Have a great time this weekend. Let me know how everything is, and I will talk to you soon.
Can I get in on this podcast?
What? Sure. What's your name?
I'm Alex.
This is Alex.
Alex.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bomb your.
No, you're good. You are the Chief Operating Officer of
Matt from Muddied Waters Media. So.
Matt, how you doing?
Doing well. I'm glad to see you. See this. I have you in my notes. You're the Chief Operating Officer.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's me. Yeah. Is he coming to the thing?
No, this is Spike's co-host.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, right on. Yeah.
Right, Matt. Well, it's great to hear.
Well, yeah, I appreciate y'all. Have a great time this weekend, and I will talk to you next week. Let me know how everything is. All right, I'll talk to you soon.
Awesome. Bye, guys.
All right, that was amazing. Love it every time that Erin can come on. I totally didn't look at what the rest of the schedule is this week, even though I told you that it was happening. Hang on one second while I look that stuff up, because I should know these things. To share Jason. Nope, not that one. So Jason Lyon has a show tomorrow of Mr. America, The Bearded Truth, and I hope everybody out there got a chance to watch mine and Jason's episode of Muddied America, which aired on Sunday. If you didn't get a chance to watch it, if you become a subscriber, you can go and to anchor.fm youtube.com/muddiedwater/subscribe, and you will have access to that show tomorrow and week of the 25th. Tomorrow, Jason has Elizabeth Coquillard on his show at 2 p.m. Eastern. So tune in for that. It's going to be a great time. Spikes at Flote Fest all weekend long, so I'm certain some stuff's going to be coming out about that. And then next week, I believe on Tuesday, at roughly our normal time, there should be an episode of My Fellow Americans. Or nope, of Muddied Waters of Freedom. I don't know about next week's Wednesday. Let's see. Wednesday, there is not going to be an episode of My Fellow Americans next week. And you aren't going to believe who my guest is next week. You are going to have to tune in to find out. So be sure to tune in for all of that. Thank you all so much for joining me on a Thursday evening. As I've said multiple times, it's a Thursday. There's literally thousands of things you could be doing, and I appreciate that you choose to spend it here with me. Your fun fact of the week. In 1936, Jesse Owens, who's famous for making Hitler really mad, beat a horse in a 100-yard dash, and the horse was given a head start. Fun fact for you. Thank you all so much. Tune in tomorrow for Mr. America, the Bearded Truth. Next week, Tuesday, for the Muddied Waters of Freedom. Then next Thursday for the Writer's Block. And until then, have just a fantastic weekend. And remember, no matter if you are skinny, if you're fat, if you're white, if you're black, if you're male, if you're female, if you're trans, if you're gay, if you're Catholic, Christian, Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, whatever, at the end of the day, it's night.
I am swinging from a 7-story window, throwing parties in a 10-by-7 cell. It's astounding the lengths I'll go to convince the whole damn world I don't need anybody's help. Yeah, I am waving while I drown. Don't bother swimming out to save me, I will only drag you down. I'll try to use your body as a life raft, cause if there's room enough for one, there must be room enough for two. I'll sail the good ship you into the sunset, sipping on savory water till my liver turns blue. Sha-na-na, sha-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Is broadcast in the evening news. I will be relieved. La, la, I am waving while I drown. Don't bother swimming out to save me, I will only drag you down. I'm waving while I drown. Don't bother swimming out to save me, I will only drag you down. La, 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 singing, hey, hey, alright, yeah, I wrote that one myself. It's astounding the lengths I'll go to convince the whole damn world I don't need anybody's help.